Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, October the 22nd. The year is 2024. Let's talk trading. Gun to your head trading, part 5 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes. Your results may differ from mine and different for Walmal's. And just a friendly reminder, risk management. Never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade. Walmal, you're back in the saddle. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm trying to be back anyway.
Well,
been a long couple of weeks.
But yeah, I've done about 4 videos on gun to your head trading where if somebody were to walk into your place right now, put a gun to your head and said you have to make 5 pips, what would you do to make those 5 pips?
It's an interesting question, but I think, to be honest with you, the easiest thing to do is, just go way back to some of your original papers and videos that you did, 10 years ago or more now at this point. Draw a line in the sand, okay? And what you do is when you cross the line, take the trade in the direction of the line or the direction of price going. And more times than not, that's going to get you your 5 pips. Not always, but more times than not. Now let's go and increase our odds a little bit, or increase the chances of winning. And what we can do there is there are certain things that happen during the day, certain things that line up on charts. For instance, a minute and a half ago or so, or 2 minutes ago, we just had, for me, what was my broker anyway, we just had a brand new H4 candle. We know if we go back and look at the charts and study them time in and time again, it loves to walk away from the H4 open. It does in every single H4 candle. Look at every H4 candle on your chart and it'll run away from it. And then somewhere along the lines, it likes to go and try to run back to it. And sometimes it crosses back over and goes the other direction. But the point is, it likes to go and run away from the open of that candle to begin with. Okay, so we just, 2.5 minutes ago, roughly, it ran away. And if we would have just gone and looked at the chart and said, hey, we got a brand new H4 candle, it's running away from it, and we entered, let's say, at 29.55.5, we could have exited out with 5 pips at 29.504. Yeah, sure, 4.9. Hand grenades, right? It's close enough. It's that thing where, I look at it when you say make 5 pips a day. I'm not going to quibble, over things like, okay, well, I only got 4.7. I got to take a second trade. No, I got 4.7. Tomorrow I may get, 5.6. And it's close enough.
No. If you don't get 5, you're gonna have to get another trade. You don't get to change the rules when the other guy's holding the gun, Walmal.
Well, the good thing is that hopefully there's not a guy holding the gun, an actual physical gun. But it's the type of thing, though. In reality, in practicality, you just take what you can go and take. And sure, in this particular case, you would have missed it by literally 1 point or a tenth of a pip. Okay, if you want to look at it that way. So what? And you just move on. It's, it's. I know I'm changing the rules on the guy, but I think the guy would be happy. Especially if he put 10 lots down, and he got 4.9. I think he'll be happy. He just walked away with $4,900.
Now he needed 5,000, or somebody would be pulling a gun to his head. So no, can't change the rules, Walmal.
Oh well, I guess I'm dead. But in any case, that's what I would do, or do a flip flop box, we know for a flip-flop box, the only problem is, you know, you got to be a little bit more cautious because on flip-flop boxes, you'll either get 10, 15, 20 pips, or you'll only get 2 or 3 pips, depending on how you're playing it. So 5 pips is a hard number to come to on a flip-flop box. But there are ways to improve your odds on that. And what do you mean? Okay, which way is the market moving right now? Okay, is the market moving in a particular direction? Is it running in a downward direction like the pound dollar is right now? Then I would take only flip-flop boxes that are moving in a downward direction. You know, look for those setups where, you know, it comes down and it does a little bit of a retrace, and at the top of the retrace, look for a flip-flop box to go the other way, and then you could get your 5 pips. You know, I wouldn't necessarily take a flip-flop box going in the upward direction right now. Although we do know from the rat trade that, you know, it does like to go back towards the middle because that's what the pound does. The problem with it is that, you know, it's going to go and do several retraces before you finally get that really nice trade where you get to 20, 25, 30 pips. And so you could get a little bit cut up on it. But, you know, it's one trade, 5 pips. You know, look for a flip-flop box going and continuing it, you know, in a downward direction. If you need to, you can go and, you know, if you can get the guy with the gun to go and accept a slight rule change, maybe you wind up taking 2 or 3, you know, trades in the upward direction, and you know, and you convince them, hey, yeah, you know, we're going to take a couple of trades here, and we only get 2 pips on it, you know. But there's a possibility we can get 20 pips. So, you know, it's you got to go and, you know, and play with what's in front of you.
Yeah, speaking of the rat trade, it just moved. Hey, off topic. You gonna pull for the Yankees in the World Series?
To be honest with you, I haven't even been paying attention.
It's the Yankees Dodgers, man. This is like the '60s again.
Yeah, or the 50s.
Yeah.
With the famous game before the Dodgers went out to L.A. When they were still in Brooklyn. But
I'm thinking of back in the days of Mays and Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris versus Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, well, I'll probably root for the Yankees. My daughter's a big Yankee fan. But I'll probably root for them only because I hate the Dodgers so much.
Okay, back to trading. I just thought of that.
So, that's okay. But, you know, that would be my recommendation for, you know, Gungy head, got to make 5 pips. Got to make 5 pips is a little bit more difficult than got to make 2 or 3 pips.
Well, I mean, you know, one of the things is, you know, when the person asked me, they didn't define a couple things. It's like, is it just one single trade, or can you, you know, add in like 2, 3 or more times and then make what would be a total of 5 pips on a, so it's kind of, yeah, if a guy says, well, yeah, what do you mean 5 pips? Give me type of thing.
Give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more parameters I got to work with. Yeah, you know, and that's what I think sometimes makes these things a little bit harder to do. But at the same time, we have so many options out there, you know, that's the good thing about this is that, you know, there's so many options out there to go and make, you know, 5 pips. And the reality is, if you can make 5 pips consistently every day, okay, and I know we've talked about this in the past, but you can become very, very wealthy, you know, pretty quickly. And I don't care what your account size is. You know, some guy will be out there saying, I've only got an account, you know, only account of $50. Well, you know what? If you're making 5 pips a day, okay, and, you know, you have an account size of $50 and, you know, across a month, that means you made 100 pips, you know, figuring on 20 trading days a month.
Right.
You know, you make 100 pips, you know, a month, and you say, let's say you're only risking, 3% of your account. Okay, I'm not going to do the math right now and embarrass myself, but the thing is, you're going to be pretty close to doubling your account at the end of the month, and you no longer have $50 to work with. You now have $100, and you do the same thing the next month, and the next month, and the next month. By the time you're done, you don't have $50 in your account anymore. And assuming you don't take anything out, you're now sitting there with thousands of dollars by the end of the year, and that's just the reality of what can happen with this. And so, I think the thing to take away from this, which is more important than the gun to your head, scenario, and that is that if you look at it from the perspective, I only have to make 5 pips a day, and as long as I don't over risk, and as long as I stick to the rules and I don't go and do silly things, but if I can go and average that out, I can take my account and I can grow it. It may take a little bit of time, but I can go and do it. And as long as I do that, and stick to it, at the end of the day, I can turn this, change it from a, hobby into something where I can go and live off of it. And honestly, that's what I did. I didn't do it with 5 pips a day. I was trying to make 10 pips a day. But, that's the reason I was able to go and do it. And there are a lot of people who have been able to do it. Unfortunately, 98% fail or something like that. But if you really look at the 98% that fail, what did they do? They all have one thing in common, and that is that they don't, the very first thing you said on this video, they didn't manage their risk. They didn't go and make sure that they're not taking trades that they're going to lose more than they can afford to lose. And you just got to keep that in check.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that if you start gambling in the sense of not managing your risk, sooner or later you're going to blow it all because of the mere fact that you are willing to risk almost everything every trade because you haven't managed. It's like you start to add into trades, to try hopefully to get it all back. But to me, it's more like elevators. If you get in an elevator and it starts going the wrong way, you usually get off at the next floor.
You're probably better off.
Yeah.
Catch a different elevator.
Yeah, and that's the same way with trading. If you right now you're in the green rat zone, but if you get on the up elevator and all of a sudden it turns around and makes a new daily low, it might be time to get off that elevator.
And it's the thing is, I think I've talked to so many traders who get themselves into trouble, and I'm sure you have too over the years, where they blow their account and you say, why didn't you get out here? And their answer is always the same thing. I knew the market was going to come back the other way. And look, over here, it did. But the problem is, by the time it did, you lost all your money.
Yes.
And people do that all the time. In fact,
it's funny, though, when you're trying to hit that big home run, Walmal, I say the problem is if you're going to do that, then you have to have like a one micro lot trade where it can go against you 1,000 pips and it's no big deal.
Right. Going back to a baseball analogy, it was only one Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
There were a handful of Hank Aarons, but the reality is there were lots of singles hitters, and the singles hitters, guess what? They were just as successful.
Yeah, and you know what? The fastest 15 minutes in trading's almost over, and good to have you back, Walmal, and fellow traders. Let us know if you have any questions, and we will definitely do our best to answer them. And when you're at your trading platform, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.